The world is filled with brilliant minds that never build anything, talented hands that never create, gifted voices that never speak. Because talent without purpose is like a compass without direction. It spins endlessly but never points anywhere. I have spent 2 decades studying men who changed industries, built empires, and rewrote what humanity believed was possible. And I will tell you this with absolute certainty. Not one of them succeeded because they were the most talented. They succeeded because they knew exactly what they wanted and refused to stop until they had it. You see people around you with abilities you wish you had. Natural gifts, quick minds, easy charm. And you wonder why they drift through life achieving nothing while others with less seem to move mountains. The answer is painfully simple. Purpose beats talent every single time. A clear, definite aim transforms an ordinary mind into an unstoppable force. Without it, even genius becomes paralyzed. Most people never decide what they truly want. They float through years reacting to circumstances, waiting for life to hand them something worth caring about. They confuse wishing with wanting. They mistake daydreaming for desire. They think because they occasionally imagine success that they actually hunger for it. But true desire burns. It consumes. It keeps you awake. It forces you to move when every logical reason says stop. And the tragic truth is most people have never felt that fire because they've never defined a purpose clear enough to ignite it. I have watched men waste decades because they were afraid to choose. Afraid that picking one path meant abandoning other possibilities. So they kept every door open and walked through none of them. Indecision is a slow death. It masquerades as careful thinking, but it is really fear dressed in logic. The moment you commit to a definite chief aim, something inside you shifts. Your mind stops scattering in 1,000 directions and begins organizing every thought, every action, every relationship around that single burning objective. Andrew Carnegie understood this before most men learned to read. He was not born rich. He was not handed advantages. But he had something more valuable than talent or luck. He had a vision so clear it shaped every decision he made. He saw the steel industry not as it was, but as it could be. And he built an empire not because he was smarter than every other man, but because he refused to be distracted. While others chased every new opportunity, he stayed focused on one aim. While others scattered their energy, he concentrated his. Purpose made him wealthy. Clarity made him unstoppable. You think talent will carry you. It will not. Talent gets you noticed. Purpose gets you results. I have met countless people with gifts that could have changed the world. Writers who never finished a book. Inventors who never built the machine. Leaders who never led, because they lacked the one thing that transforms potential into reality. A burning, definite purpose backed by an unshakable plan. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before he created a light bulb that worked. 10,000 attempts. Most men would have quit after 10. They would have called themselves realists. They would have protected their pride by saying it was impossible. But Edison had something stronger than talent. He had purpose. He knew exactly what he wanted to create, and he refused to accept that it could not be done. Every failed attempt taught him one more way it would not work. And he kept going because his purpose was bigger than his discouragement. That is what clarity does. It makes you immune to temporary defeat. When you know exactly what you want and why you want it, failure becomes information instead of identity. You do not crumble when things go wrong because you are not attached to one method. You are committed to one outcome, and you will find another way. But most people never get there because they never do the hard work of deciding. They want success, but they have not defined what success looks like. They want wealth, but they have not decided how much or why. They want purpose, but they have not written down what they are willing to sacrifice to achieve it. So their desires remain vague, and vague desires produce vague results. Your subconscious mind is the most powerful force you will ever encounter, but it only responds to clear, specific instructions. You cannot program it with maybes. You cannot direct it with wishes. You must feed it a definite chief aim, so vivid, so detailed, so emotionally charged that it becomes more real than your current circumstances. When you do this consistently through autosuggestion, your subconscious begins working day and night to bring that vision into reality. It filters every experience through the lens of your purpose. It notices opportunities others miss. It connects ideas that seem unrelated. It drives you toward your goal even when your conscious mind is resting. But if you feed it confusion, it produces confusion. If you feed it scattered thoughts, it creates scattered results. Most people blame the world for their lack of success when the real problem is they never gave their mind a clear target. Henry Ford decided he would build a car the average man could afford. People told him it was impossible. Engineers explained why it could not be done. Investors refused to back him. But his purpose was so clear, so definite, that he bent reality around it. He did not have all the answers when he started. He did not know every step, but he knew the outcome he wanted, and he refused to accept any other result. And because his purpose was crystal clear, his mind found ways to achieve it that no one had thought of before. That is what happens when you combine a definite aim with persistence. You do not need to be the smartest person in the room. You do not need the most resources. You need a purpose so strong it pulls you through every obstacle, because obstacles will come. Criticism will come. Doubt will come. Failure will come. And if your purpose is weak, those things will stop you. But if your purpose is definite, if it is written, if it is emotionally charged, if you think about it every morning and every night, then nothing can stop you. You will simply outlast every problem until you find the solution. I have studied over 500 men who built great wealth and influence, and the pattern is undeniable. Every single one of them had a definite chief aim. They knew exactly what they wanted. They could describe it in detail. They organized their lives around it, and they persisted until they achieved it. The men who failed were just as talented, often more talented, but they lacked clarity. They chased too many things. They changed direction when obstacles appeared. They let other people's opinions dilute their vision, and they died with their potential still locked inside them. You are doing the same thing right now if you have not written down your definite chief aim. If you cannot describe in one sentence what you are building your life toward, then you are drifting. And drifting always leads to disappointment. You will look back in 10 years and wonder why nothing changed. The answer will be simple. You never decided what you wanted clearly enough to make your mind work for it. Most people wait for inspiration. They wait to feel ready. They wait for perfect conditions. But successful people do not wait. They decide, they write down their purpose, they create a plan, and they start moving even when they do not feel like it, because they understand that action creates momentum and momentum creates results. Waiting creates nothing but regret. Your definite chief aim must be specific. Not, I want to be successful. That means nothing. Success in what? By when? How will you know when you have achieved it? Your subconscious cannot work with vague instructions. You must be precise. Write it down. Include the exact outcome you want. Include the date you will achieve it. Include what you are willing to give in return, because everything has a price. Purpose without sacrifice is just fantasy. When you have that clarity, everything changes. You stop wasting time on things that do not move you toward your goal. You stop seeking approval from people who are not going where you are going. You stop letting fear make your decisions, because your purpose is bigger than your fear. Your clarity is stronger than your doubt. Before I continue, answer one question honestly. If you died tomorrow, would the world know what you stood for? Would your life have pointed towards something specific, or would it have been a collection of random activities held together by survival and distraction? If you are still listening, something inside you is waking up. Something is stirring. You feel it. That restlessness, that knowing that you were meant for more than you are currently living, that feeling is not random. It is your mind trying to break free from the fog of purposelessness. But feeling is not enough. You must act. You must take that vague restlessness, and turn it into a written plan. You must take that quiet knowing and make it loud. You must stop living in possibility and start living in decision. Because every day you delay is a day your talent goes unused. Every week you drift is a week your potential remains dormant. And time does not care about your intentions. It only measures what you actually do. Organized planning is the bridge between desire and achievement. You cannot just want something and expect the universe to deliver it. You must think. You must strategize. You must break your definite aim into specific steps. And then you must take the first step even if you cannot see the entire path, because clarity comes through action, not before it. I have seen men transform their entire existence in 12 months simply because they finally committed to a definite purpose, not because they suddenly became smarter, not because they inherited money, but because they stopped scattering their energy and started concentrating it. They stopped reacting to life and started creating it. They stopped waiting for permission and started claiming what was theirs. You have that same power right now. The only difference between you and the person you admire is they decided what they wanted and you have not. They wrote it down and read it every day until it became part of their identity. They planned their steps. They took action even when afraid. They persisted when others quit. And slowly, steadily, inevitably, they became what they decided to become. Thoughts are things. That is not poetry. That is fact. Every physical object you see started as a thought in someone's mind. The chair you sit on, the roof over your head, the roads you drive, all of it began as an idea. And your life is no different. What you are living right now is the physical manifestation of the thoughts you have been thinking. If you do not like your results, change your thoughts. If you want different outcomes, feed your mind different instructions. But this only works with clarity. Random positive thinking produces random results. Definite thinking backed by definite purpose creates definite outcomes. That is the difference between wishing and achieving. That is why some people seem to attract success while others work just as hard and get nowhere. It is not luck. It is not favoritism. It is mental focus directed by a clear aim. The mastermind principle amplifies this power. When you surround yourself with people who share your level of ambition and purpose, something almost magical happens. Ideas multiply. Energy increases. Solutions appear faster. Because minds working in harmony create a third invisible force more powerful than any individual effort. But you cannot build a mastermind if you do not know what you are building toward. People of purpose attract people of purpose. Drifters attract drifters. Decide which group you want to belong to. You will face criticism. That is guaranteed. The moment you declare a definite aim, someone will tell you why it cannot be done. Someone will remind you of every person who tried and failed. Someone will question your qualifications. Let them talk. Their criticism reveals their own limitations, not yours. Successful people do not waste energy defending their dreams to small-minded critics. They use that energy to achieve their dreams. And then the results speak louder than any argument ever could. Fear of criticism keeps more people trapped in mediocrity than any other force. They would rather blend in than stand out. They would rather be safe than significant. So they abandon their purpose the moment someone laughs. They shrink their dreams to fit other people's expectations. And they die having never discovered what they were truly capable of. But you are not going to do that. You are going to write down your definite chief aim today, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Today, you are going to make it specific. You are going to include a deadline. You are going to decide what you are willing to sacrifice to achieve it. And you are going to read it every morning when you wake up and every night before you sleep. You are going to feed it to your subconscious until it becomes as real as the ground beneath your feet. And then you are going to create a plan, step by step, month by month. What must happen first? What resources do you need? Who do you need to become? Write it all down. Because a goal without a plan is just a wish, and you are done wishing. You are ready to build. Persistence will be your greatest ally. Talent fades when things get difficult. Intelligence falters under pressure. But persistence fueled by definite purpose cannot be stopped. It does not matter how many times you fail. It does not matter how long it takes. If you persist with a clear aim, you will eventually succeed. That is not motivation. That is mathematics. Keep trying enough intelligent attempts, and you will find the solution. Every adversity carries the seed of equal or greater benefit. You need to tattoo that truth on your soul, because you will face adversity. Your plan will not work perfectly. People will disappoint you. Resources will run out. Timing will feel wrong. But buried inside every setback is an opportunity if you are clear-minded enough to find it. Edison's 10,000 failures taught him 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb. Each one brought him closer. Each one was necessary. Your failures are doing the same thing if you let them. But most people never extract the lesson because they are too busy feeling sorry for themselves. They treat failure as final instead of as feedback. They personalize it instead of learning from it. And they quit right before the breakthrough because they have no definite purpose pulling them forward. Do not be like them. You are built for more than comfortable mediocrity. Riches begin in the mind. Not just financial riches, all riches. Health, relationships, influence, peace. All of it starts with a thought sustained long enough to become belief. And belief backed by action becomes reality. But it has to start with clarity. You cannot attract what you have not defined. You cannot achieve what you have not decided. So stop waiting for life to show you what you want. You tell life what you want. You declare it, you claim it, you build it thought by thought, day by day, decision by decision. Faith, activated by action, is unstoppable. But faith without action is delusion. You can believe all day that you are destined for greatness, but if you do not take the steps, nothing happens. Faith is not passive. It is aggressive. It moves. It risks. It builds, even when the outcome is uncertain. Because faith, combined with a definite purpose, creates a force that bends circumstances. You think great men were chosen. They were not. They chose themselves. They decided they would not accept average. They decided their purpose was worth the struggle. They decided they would persist until they succeeded or died trying. And that decision changed everything. It focused their mind. It directed their energy. It attracted the right people. It revealed opportunities others missed, not because the universe favored them, because they programmed their mind with such clarity that success became inevitable. You have that same power. You have always had it, but you have not used it because you have not decided what you want clearly enough to activate it. Today that changes. Right now, this moment, you are going to stop drifting. You are going to stop reacting. You are going to stop waiting, and you are going to decide. Write down your definite chief aim. Make it so clear a stranger could read it and know exactly what you are building. Make it so specific your subconscious has no room for confusion. Make it so compelling that thinking about it fills you with energy. And then read it twice a day until it becomes part of your identity, until you cannot imagine being anything other than the person who achieves it. Your talent does not matter if it has no direction. Your intelligence does not matter if it has no target. Your potential does not matter if it never meets purpose. But the moment you give your gifts a clear aim, everything you have becomes useful. Every skill finds its place. Every experience makes sense. Every setback becomes preparation, because purpose organizes chaos. Clarity transforms confusion. Decision ends drift. The world does not need more talented people wandering aimlessly. It needs people who know exactly what they are here to build and refuse to stop building it. It needs people who understand that success is not about being chosen, but about choosing. It needs people who turn thoughts into things through persistence and organized planning. It needs you to stop hiding behind potential and start living in purpose. You were not given this moment by accident. You were not given these abilities randomly. You were not given this restlessness without reason. It is all pointing you towards something specific, something only you can build. But you will never find it by drifting. You will only find it by deciding. So decide. Today, now. What is your definite chief aim? What are you building your life toward? What legacy will your thoughts create? Answer those questions and everything changes. Ignore them and nothing does. The choice has always been yours. The power has always been yours. But it only activates when you give it direction. Purpose is not something you find. It is something you create through decision, through writing, through daily repetition, through action, through persistence. You build it one clear thought at a time until it becomes so real that not achieving it feels impossible. That is the secret every successful person knows. They did not wait to feel ready. They decided what they wanted and became ready through the pursuit. They did not wait for perfect conditions. They created conditions through focused action. They did not hope for success. They claimed it by giving their mind a definite target and refusing to stop until they hit it. You can do the same thing. Not someday, today. Not when things get easier. Now, while things are hard, because purpose does not require perfect circumstances. It creates them. Clarity does not wait for confidence. It builds it. Decision does not need proof. It generates it. Stop looking for signs. You are the sign. Stop waiting for permission. You are the authority. Stop searching for your purpose. Declare it. Write it. Live it. And watch how fast your life transforms when your mind finally knows what it is working toward. Your talent will never be enough. But your talent plus a definite chief aim plus persistence plus organized planning equals unstoppable force. That is the formula. That is what separates those who achieve from those who merely attempt. That is what turns ordinary people into extraordinary results. You are standing at a decision point right now. You can close this message and go back to drifting, hoping someday you will stumble into purpose. Or you can grab a pen and paper and write down the one thing you will build your life around, the one aim, the one target, the one purpose that makes everything else make sense. If this message spoke to your heart, share it with someone who needs hope today. And if you want more messages that grow your soul, subscribe because your journey has just begun.